What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again for another quick review. We are going to be reviewing the brand new Netflix series, just Dracula, the brand new series that is on Netflix as of right now. So if you guys want to go ahead and check it out, it is on Netflix. It's available right now. It has 3 episodes. Each are, I believe, an hour and a half long, maybe more. It was. I really don't know how to describe it to you guys first off, but if you guys are fans of the original Bram Stoker's movie or the novel, they really do try to inhabit that within this series. Now, there are different actor and actresses that are in this series that do have key roles, such as Dracula himself. Also, we have other actors and actresses that, again, play roles different later on. Now, from critics, from what I've seen from different reviews, it has not been very interesting. This does have, I think I'm pronouncing this correctly, Class Bang, he plays as Dracula. We also have Dahlia Wells, she plays 2 different roles as a Van Helsing nun. And we also get to see more about the character Jonathan Harker, of course, Mina, from the original Bram Stoker novel. Now, I'm not going to go too much into this story. I'm just going to go on my review. That pretty much does go forth from back in the 1800s with Count Dracula, where Jonathan Harker does go to the castle. He's there for a long time, for a period of months. Dracula is slowly draining him so he can become young and then travel to England. And then he meets, later on, Mina. He meets Abigail. I believe it was Abigail. No, it was Agatha Van Helsing. She was a nun in a convent, and she taught the other nuns about vampires as well as Dracula. And they really do, again, inherit a lot of the keen things that Dracula is. Very charismatic, can transform into a wolf, bats that he can control, as well as also others that are creatures of them. They fear him. But in this entire series, even though it is only 3 episodes entirely of a season, and they conclude it in a very bizarre way, the entire series, you just pretty much cringe, I think. And the reason why I say that is the acting just seemed like it was very... It just didn't seem like the acting was very good, out of my personal opinion. Felt like it could have been better. A lot of the characters felt very bland. A lot of them felt very pushed to be like you just had to listen or like them or try to like them. And there was really no character in this that I actually cared for, honestly. No character I actually cared about. Even with the character Dracula himself, he tried to be the actor. He tried to be charismatic. He tried to be charming, or very devious, very manipulative, very demanding, try to be ferocious and scary. And in a way he pulled that off, in a way he did not pull that off. I think maybe they could have gotten someone better, out of my opinion. I don't know if they've how far they really went to get different actors or actresses to even try to do this role. It really just seemed like they pretty much got at the bottom of the barrel. I mean, the actor, I believe himself, is in his 50s, and the other, I believe the others, they were in their, I want to say, mid-30s, maybe 40s. But it was one of those where, again, I understand what they were trying to do with the feel of the movie. They were trying to make it very classic, very old, very anonymous, and bring a lot of memories back to the original film. And at the same time, get that like old school, just devil Dracula type that they had back in the day. And it just seemed like that they tried, and it was a hit and miss for me. It really was, because the old school Bram Stoker was terrifying in its own way. I mean, when you look back at it now, a lot of people probably like said it's either classic or it's just sucky, or it's bullshit, a lot of people will say. But initially, how do I rate this series? I rate it maybe 1 out of 10, I probably rated a 2. The effects, the way they did the vampires was very, I didn't like it. They made them look very decaying, which was fine if you've lived for thousands of years and you weren't feeding, which made sense. But at the same time, they made some look like that they were like very young looking, and then some it was very, I don't know, guys, I really don't know how to describe it. It just seemed like everything. I'm not trying to nitpick on every single little detail, but I can't help it because it's like, okay, I would have done this better, I would have done this differently, because when it comes to vampire movies, when it comes to vampire shows, there are some that work and there's some that do not work, and this one I don't think worked at all if you are a classic horror vampire fan. I really don't think that this was. I just think it was cheesy, especially with, again, at the end, you find out that, yeah, Dracula can be in the sunlight, and the entire time, the main thing that kills him is drinking the descendant of Agatha Van Helsing, her descendant, who has cancer, and he bites her in the beginning of the 3rd episode and finds out, oh, hey, she's dying. And then it's very toxic to him, but yet he still does it just so he can die, because his greatest fear is dying. He doesn't fear the cross. He fears the cross. He fears sunlight because of him dying, and he does not want to die because he's been alive for hundreds and hundreds of years. But at the same time, the Dracula that I always imagine from just the old school legends, as well as also the lore, and also for everything that from Bram Stoker to just everything, it just makes it seem like that this is a very monstrosity type of character, and he wants to be understood but yet feared, among other things. And it's really interesting on how they try to portray him, and every time when they try, someone either, again, it's a hit or miss. And again, I think this was a miss. I do not think that they honestly thought about this. I mean, I think the closest that they ever did to a decent Dracula series was the one they had. I'm trying to remember how long ago it was, guys. It was a very long time ago when they had this series. It was, I believe, and I'm going to look it up right now while I'm thinking about this, because a lot of, I want to say again, a lot of different reviews I've seen this, everybody's saying it sucks. And honestly, it does. And it's very sad to say, but it truly does. And the last one they did was in 2013, and it was casted at Jonathan Ray Myers as Dracula, and he actually did a very great interpretation of Dracula. I have to say, he really did. He did a great interpretation of Dracula. I'm hoping that they somehow bring back the series at some point. Maybe that storyline, it seemed like it was a more interesting story. It seemed like it was more fun to do. It made more sense. It was more interesting. He wasn't just a killer. He was a entrepreneur. He was trying to avenge the death of his wife when he was killed by the Circle of the Dragon, and he was in league with Van Helsing, and it made a decent story. But in this one, it just, of course, the classic Van Helsing versus Dracula, yes, it works, but to a certain degree. It is very to where you're sitting there in this entire series and you're wondering what exactly is the end game here. And again, it failed. So I know I'm kind of bouncing off. I mean, it may not make no sense, but let me know what you guys think. Did you guys enjoy it? Did you guys dislike it? I'd like to know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Hope you guys are enjoying your day. If you guys enjoyed it, okay, cool. If you guys didn't enjoy it, okay, that's cool too. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comments. If you guys are new channel, leave a big fat like on the video if you guys enjoyed, as well as also click for more reviews on shows as well as movies and among other things. Hope you guys are enjoyed once again, and I'll see you on the next one.